I like what Reverend Knight was saying. You can't save the world.
Yeah, I love that part right there. You cannot save the world. You got one thing for its would-be saviors: crucify him. You're right,
Wow.
brother. Yo, and that's what has proven throughout. I think people misread that whole story about Christ and all the other so-called Christ that came in. They, yeah, they did all these great things, but at the end of the day, the world crucified him for trying to help them. And I think that's the story. That's the point of the story. You're not going to be able to fix people. I think that's the whole crux of the story. The only thing you can do is work on yourself. That's it. Let me see. Did I lose him? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm listening. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only thing you can do is save yourself. That's it. That's it. I think we got caught up in all of the healings and all of the stuff, that miracles that were done, that we didn't look at the end game. What happened? Them same people that he healed. It wasn't that they tried to say the government did it. The government didn't do it. It was the religious government that did it. The very church folks that he healed supported the religious establishment that was oppressing them into crucifying him.
That's right.
So that's what I get from that story, that whole Christ story. Hey, you're not gonna put me up on no stake.
That's right.
And while I'm here teaching, y'all gonna compensate me too. I'm gonna get,
that's right.
Hey, I'll teach y'all, give y'all some good information, but at the same time, what you do with it is on you. I'm not gonna be on your back about, hey, well, you're not doing. No, I gave you the information. I gave you with the message. The message is there. And see, and all the messages like Jonah and the whale and all of that, see, they got confused too. They ran because they didn't believe the people would hit. They knew the people wouldn't listen, but that wasn't the mission. Their mission was just to tell the story, tell what was going on, and that was it. Their mission wasn't to save anybody. It was just, hey, just deliver this message. That's it. Give them forewarning. Give them full notice. That's all you need to do. But what, like a lot of the preachers and the pastors and the priests of the day, they get all down and upset because people are not listening to them. And I had to tell a pastor that. I was like, listen, your job is never to get them to listen. You're taking on a burden that wasn't given to you. Your job is just to share it so that they have the information, and they got notice. They were put on notice. So
that's hard.
That is hard. Really? But when I figured that out, you know how much burden lifted off my shoulder once I took that away from myself, trying to fix folks and getting people to believe me.
That's right. So I got that point. The point that I'm at now is the ignorance of family members. That's the part.
Yeah, you almost got to move away from them. Yeah, you got to move away from them because they test your patience. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Family members are the tough, hardest ones to deal with.
I was talking to one of my ignorant ass cousins. So ignorant. I love that motherfucker though, but it's crazy. Like all of them got the vaccine, so I'm the idiot now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, y'all can't see that the Bill Gates is Thanos. You niggas can't see it. They can't see it.
All of them are invested in it, in these pharmaceutical. Fauci, all of them are invested in these companies. Yeah. Even the WHO is invested in these companies. They all got stock in these pharmaceuticals, these vaccines, and they're making billions, man. And I don't really think it's their goal to get everybody vaxxed. They're just trying to make much money as they can while it lasts. They're making a killing right now. You know, if you want to know the truth of something, follow the money.
Follow the money.
I'm like, hey, and you know, to tell you the truth, I can't even knock their hustle. If they get a bunch of people just buy into their story and get paid
Right.
at the same time, and they just doing it without really investigating what they're doing to themselves. Yep. Did they see? Can you really like come down on them? No, because they created a business under the guise of healthcare, and people believe it, and they go for it. I mean, it's called free marketplace capitalism. Capitalism. That's what we're dealing with right now. So, hey, they create the hype. They positioned them in a place where they could create the hype and create the demand. They created their own demand. They cornered the marketplace. It's quite ingenious when you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, and then they got everybody, and that's the game that's been played throughout society in all levels, like even in our community, right? This us as black men, bro. They call us black. I don't like using that term, but we're gonna use it here for now. Every group of people out there looks at the black man as a problem. Look down on us. Let's put it like that. Even our women, right? They don't respect us like they would their job or any other established entity
100%.
out there. They don't respect
100%.
us. That's like, when it comes to us having our own business, when people, our family, whoever looks at our business as a little business. But you go to these other establishments, they get they get credibility. Oh, they got a business. They look at it as a better to our businesses are looked at as hobbies or just something. They're not taken seriously. How I know? Because my family don't do business with me at all.
Facts.
At all, zero, not one do business or come. They come to me when shit hit the fan. And they know I know shit. That's when they come to me. Get my advice, right? Waste my time talking to me and never use it when they do come to me. But they only come to me in a panic because guess what? All of the establishments that they respect are not there for them. So I'm like the last resort. And I know this. I'm aware that that's just, I know that. And I'm okay with that. Reason why I'm okay with that because that's just them. And I ain't gonna let that interfere with what I'm doing, right? So what they have set up right now mentally in people's mind, they set up a class of people. And in this country, they put us, we're treated at the bottom, although we're the ones who fuel the economy. You see what I'm saying? Although our people fuel the economy, create the economy, basically. It's our it's our money and our dollars, because the reason why is because out of other communities, their money stays in their community for the most part. It's sheltered in their communities, whereas our money, I think we're down to like less than a minute. Our money stays in our community from the time it hits our hands.
That's embarrassing.
Right. So what I'm saying is they got everybody looking at, like your family looks at you like you crazy because you won't do certain things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they got us all turned our backs on each other. And this is how they stay in power. Why do they need the very people at the bottom of the scale are treated that way? Because we are the fuel to keep their system going. We just fuel. We like gas in their car. Although, you say you got to go get some gas, you don't think of gas as that important until it runs out. Like, oh, wait, man, that ain't until you get on E, right? And see, and that's
Right.
how we're treated. We're the gas for this whole system around the world. But they won't realize how important we are until either we stop giving them the gas or we don't exist anymore. Because there's no existence without us.
That's right.
But our not existing is never going to happen. So the next thing is stop giving them the gas. That's the solution. To fixing our problems, we got to stop giving everybody else our gas. Meaning our money, our energy, our respect.
That's right.
And see, and one of the major reasons why our sisters are failing and not getting the husbands that they want and keeping in the relationship, because they look at us the same way the other people look at us.
That's right.
They treat us with disrespect. And I don't see why they do that, because 50% of our children out there, how we created, they need us to create the children. And vice versa, we need them. 50%. We create the architects, decide whether it's boy or girl, and they just cultivate that seed. They expand it. So one it's a vital need, but then they scoff at us. They get their education, they look down on us and scoff at us. Y'all ain't no good. I was just looking at something on Instagram. So female, her headlight got stolen out of her car, one of the headlights.
Okay.
So she puts the headlight in and said, "Oh, who says I need a man? I put this in all by myself." And then you should see the comments of the sisters. Yeah, Dad, I'm glad your daddy raised you this independent, this. They just was going in on men. Now, what that have to do with needing a man or not needing a man? You got your headlight stolen because you didn't have a man. You had to go buy the headlight and put it in yourself. But I'm sure if it was a guy there, he would have put the headlight in. Made it easy.
Right.
But you didn't have one because you're probably with that attitude. We're not checking for those types of attitudes anymore.
Yeah, that's the biggest turnoff.
He's like, go ahead. You don't need us? Go do it. Go put your headlight in. Hey, when you start needing an engine and a transmission, come talk to me then. Yeah. When something really major, because putting the headlight ain't that big of a deal. Not for a man, it ain't. that mentality, they made putting a headlight in a big deal when a headlight is really easy to replace. One of the easiest things on a car, only car that is not easy on is a BMW, because you damn near got to take the whole damn bumper off for a BMW, right? And other foreign cars, but this was a domestic car where all it is take a couple of bolts out and you got the headlight out. Lift the hood, and you got it out, and you can put a new one in. You see, they made that like that was a super accomplishment. It's like, and they wonder why they don't have guys by their side. We're not checking for that anymore, and that's what I'm talking about. Society has poisoned the minds against us so bad. They don't see how important we are to our very survival.
That's right. Man, I had this woman yesterday. No, it was Monday. Little young girl, and we were doing we were just talking, and she don't like me, she's gay. And she's just going on, just so hard, finally going on. And then, and I let her know I don't care if it's gay. I said, but everything you're saying is incorrect. I say, now, I'm okay with your lifestyle, but know that you are not correct, because she was going on about masculine and feminine and all. She just had it all twisted up. And I was like, wait a minute. I say, now I don't care how you feel in your opinion, but don't be talking to me like you speaking facts. So
I know.
I said, nothing that you say is above the universal laws. I said, now you can feel what you want to feel, but know that it's like if I do something I know ain't correct, I'm doing it because I want to do it, but don't lie to yourself.
Right.
Say what you mean. I say there is a law, a principle of gender, and the law of dualities. No, they. I say, they say, who wrote that? And this ain't no church. So wait a minute. Can you put Can you put two negative into a positive coin? Can you make a baby without a man? She said no. I say, so it ain't about no book. It's about laws that
yeah, right. What makes electric current run? Positive and negatives.
Yeah, she's trying to get deep.
It's the
ain't nobody wrote that.
What keeps
she wanted to dismiss the universal laws.
Right. What keeps current going? Positive and negatives. Without a negative, you're not having current.
I was trying to tell, and then I was like, and I say, now you can think what you want to think, but I say, but the overwhelming majority of all nice neighborhoods, you're gonna find a man in the home. Y'all need us, and you can't do without us. And I said, y'all got all these damn degrees. Women got more degrees than any female on this earth, and the black race is still at the bottom. So all this shit that you
let me hit you with another tough statistic that they won't publish in the news. They have programmed the minds of people that black men are not doing good, they in jail, or they not doing nothing, or they working bullshit jobs. Mm-hmm. Despite all of the degrees that all of these sisters got, the males financially, 63% of them are doing better than the female counterpart. And what makes that number so bad is more of them than us.
Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting fact.
I'm going to tell you why. And it was something I said a long time ago. See, it's a sink or swim psychology. You throw a person in the water and they can't swim, they will figure out how to survive or they will die, right?
Right.
The very thing that they use to hurt us, put us in jail, always attacking us everywhere we go, can't, go in the store, following us around. All of this stuff has created a super man. Because we had to figure it out. Okay, they coming at us this way. We didn't sit down and act like crybabies and say, well, they doing me like this and give up. Now, some guys have done that. But other guys have created a workaround. Remember I said a while ago, they put all these guys in prison, but they didn't figure out, well, they thought that these guys were just going to come out of prison and just sit around and do nothing. Right? These guys came out and got into businesses where they didn't have to be hired by anybody, whether it be landscaping or real estate. Now, they may not be able to get the real estate license to sell houses, but you could wholesale houses without a license and make more money than a real estate agent.
Fact.
See, they went into fields where they figured out I can make a lot of money legitimately and not have the man on my back.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So they created, or they created the businesses and put people and got somebody like their mama to be the owner of the business while they created the workaround.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. They created the workaround, and now these guys are living good. And their only complaint now is they don't have their female counterpart to be with. And I did a seminar. It was a bunch of them like that. Half the guys in the room had prison records. And that's when the realization hit me. And these dudes were doing very well. They weren't doing nothing illegal. They had real estate. They was in real estate. It was in they were flipping properties, buying properties, flipping them, buying tax sales and stuff like that. They got resourceful. And see, because our sisters have been pampered and not really checked on the bullshit that they've been doing, they and overlooking these what they call little businesses that these guys started, they let a whole generation of guys who are what you call high earners get by them. And these guys don't want them. They don't want that. They don't want that. Those women with those types of attitudes, those bad attitudes. You see?
That's right.
See, so the real stats is brothers are doing well. And you can see it. Go look at YouTube. All these brothers got great channels making money. And if you look at their channels, a lot of these brothers that got channels, they doing them by themselves. Now you go to the other channels with the other groups, they woman is helping them. They family is helping them.
That's right.
And that's sad. That's sad. And that,
you know the thing that this one thing that she couldn't see. I said that she was like, well, we equal. No, we're not equal. We're complementary. And what she couldn't get is, it ain't nothing where it's an equal. It ain't two drivers in a car. It ain't even the president or whoever. It always boils down to one person in a relationship that's gonna make the ultimate decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the military, I don't care where you go at.
They got you can't have a military and everybody's trying to make decisions. It's just not gonna work. You gotta have one person that's gonna make the hard choice.
But see, that's part of the game. They done created opposition in the family that shouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? You know, even if the man took his nuts and followed his woman, it's still it's still boiling down to somebody, because it's just how we have a pyramid of society. Everything based off a pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Even in the home. You know, even when you get a whole man, I used to teach. I used to do GEDs in prison when I was when I was teaching school at night as a part-time job. And shit, you get all the gangsters, and there still was one little nigga in the prison controlling other people. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody's looking for a leader.
Even the gangsters now, you know what I'm saying? I had this little bitty nigga that he really controlled my class. He had me laughing. He told everybody, y'all shut up and listen to Mr. Harper. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn to use him. You know what I'm saying? But yet these sisters can't figure that out.
No, because you're not the authority on information. They have been poisoned to believe that whatever you say is bad advice. You're nobody. You know, just because everybody else looks down on us, so they look down on us. You know, that's what you're dealing with. But I don't care. I don't care, because I'm gonna make it happen. I got a plan, and I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna do it, regardless of who's with me or not. And that's what a lot of brothers have come to realize. No one's coming to save us. So we're gonna save our damn self. Nobody's gonna throw us a lifeline. You see, ain't no Jesus coming to save us. And that's one of the things that pretty much helped us. We stopped going to these damn churches. They still going. You see? And because we stopped going to them churches, we are more productive with ourselves. because we're more self-reliant. We took this God that they created that said he gonna save us, he gonna do this. Man, please, because reality, nothing is saving us. Nothing. No one's coming on. They got a bill passed for the Asians, I think a couple of weeks ago. We've been trying to get something done for how many years now? If that's not an indication that no one cares about our plight, and we have to take care of it ourselves and stop looking for someone to care, then, that's not an indication. And how did they get that bill passed? Because the Asians put together and got together and they made sure it got pushed through. We got all these so-called black leaders in these government, and they ain't pushed nothing through for us. Nothing.
Nothing. Not one thing.
But they come around the community. Hey, I'm for you. No, you're not. You are for keeping status quo the way it is. There's a reason why they got to keep us in a position. Once you understand that reason, then you understand that you got to do for self.
That's right.
Somebody, in order for any type of capitalistic system to survive, someone always got to be on the bottom or treated like they on the bottom.
That's fact.
Because then all the other communities can create businesses in their communities and bleed them dry. That's capitalism. Right. That's capitalism 101. Keep them poor. Yeah, we give some of them high-paying jobs, allow them to get their high-paying jobs, but it's just as good because all they're going to do is take that money and give it right back to us. You see? Because why? We are educating them to spend, not save, not invest. We're educating them to give away their money as fast as they get it to everybody, to the landlord, to the light company, to the water company, to the car note. And then whatever's left over goes to the grocery store and beauty supplies and all these other things. It's a hustle.
That's right. I tell these sisters, man, they be like, well, if they can't, see the way I see it. How you gonna trust me to bust all in your body, do all this sexual stuff? But yeah, you submit your body to me, but you ain't submitting my mind.
That's for their own physical pleasure.
That's retarded.
That's because that's their own physical pleasure. So it's two things they want: that physical pleasure and the money. That's it. That's all they want.
Retarded. Yeah, but it just don't make sense. I gotta find. Okay, you gotta find the right man. You open your goddamn leg.
While they finding it by sleeping with everyone they come in contact with. And then when the right man that could be the right man and he gets to know her, he don't want her because why? You all over the place. They think that they call that dating. I've been dating. I'm looking and dating and sleeping at the same time.
That's right.
and then wonder why they're not looked at as a prize. No, you're not. You've been handled by, I mean, if I buy a brand new car and I'm the first owner, then I give it away. It's a used car. Okay, it still has some value after the second one, but once you get to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, it's a piece of junk by then. Come on. Mm-hmm. And let's just take that. Let's just throw that scenario in the trash and just use this. We are men. And our psychological way we think is we don't want sloppy seconds.
Don't want
it. We don't want that. That's the way we are. Sorry. And we can't change our nature. That's our nature. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody, want that. When you buy a house, you want a new house, right? Most people want to be the first one in the house. But if they do buy, someone else's house, they want it to look good. Have some.
But see, with the new generation, shit was the bar is way lower. So
right,
the what's a used car? Not the same used car that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Like my teacher told me, that all it was old for you got it. but still, it can be old for I got it, but damn it, I ain't trying to have no damn. They better have some rental car miles on it.
But see, here's the thing: they want to come at you like they this prize, and when you tell them no, you're not a prize to me, they get insulted. They don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
right.
I don't care what you believe. You're not a prize to me. You're not. Right. That's your feelings. You upset, and then they go around and say, men ain't shit." We ain't nothing because we don't want the sloppy seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, go cry off in the corner because listen, when you're trying to build wealth and you're trying to build a peaceful life, you're looking for a certain type of woman. You're looking for a certain type of woman, someone you can get along and just cooperate. That cooperates. You don't have to be going back and forth about everything. And that's it. And the older you get, you can look good all you want, but I'm looking past the body and the all of that. I'm looking at the mind now. What's the condition of your thoughts? You know how many I come across beautiful women, then they start opening their mouth and talk. Oh my good. I'll be like, oh,
mm-hmm.
Let me get out of here. Did she actually it changed the whole look? And that's a turnoff. Right. See, you catch me when I was 19, 15, when I was young, I don't care what she talking about because I didn't have nothing to talk about. So, I was okay with that. But now,
that's
man.
Right.
And if you go in the grocery store in the evening, I said this last week, you see brothers in there shopping because they ain't got nobody in there cooking, helping them, feeding them, or giving them healthy meals.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
They're there. So, anyway. So, on the health tip, I had summertime's coming up. What's the best thing people could do to keep their health in check?
Okay. Now, with the change of every season, it's a minimum that you do a full body detox. A minimum with the change of every season. Right. With that change of season also comes a change of diet that's in accordance with the food that grows during that time naturally through the ground in your local town.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be what's growing in Mexico because we got this exotic thing that's so overrated. This exotic thing. We want something out the country. And that's not really for us at the same level. What's supposed to be for us first is what grows in our backyard. That's first. Because it keeps us in with the seasons. It used to be a time we used to do this thing, the hunter and gathering. Unfortunately, our ancestors used to migrate with the change of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually healthier for us than how we eat now.
Right.
Although it's not convenient. And really what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to change what grows naturally in that time period. And this naturally keeps us in aligned with our cycle because we all got our own internal cycle. There's a cycle for each city, each individual, each country, each state. Each one is ruled by astrological sign. I don't care Every country got its astrological sign, city, state, individual. And so by us eating like that, it keeps us in alignment with uh, the universal time clock.
Mm.
And that's what keeps it straight. But all this, you know what I'm saying? I use a lot of exotic herbs. That's a fact. I'm using it. It's not the main thing that you're doing every day.
Right.
It's for a specific reason. It's not the constant. The constant is supposed to be the food that grow in your backyard. The food supposed to be your first source of medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm all hard on the us eating in our own kitchen and all this other stuff, you know. Uh, And it's a reason why our ancestors did. Really, what happens is, with even with the universal cosmic cycle, when the earth inhales and exhales from the beginning of the time to the end of time, we see why we did things the way we did it. That's the result you get to when you get to the end. You go through every zodiac, then you realize why they started the way they started. Get
Mm-hmm.
all this technological, then you realize why they do it the way they do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and when you see what you seeing now, you're gonna see a bunch of chaos. And what they did, they created the first chaos with the first people.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and it's funny. You destabilize the first yin and yang,
Mm-hmm.
the male and female. It don't. It seems like it's some talk show shit, but it's the most important thing. It ain't more important than the male and female united. The law of duality,
Mm-hmm.
the law of unity. When two things unite with each other, that law of unity is so powerful
Mm-hmm.
because everything unites with something else.
Mm-hmm.
The earth, I mean, this building I'm in right now unites with the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It, that law of unity is so important in cooperation
Mm-hmm.
for a common goal. And so we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna need everybody, for every person at home, they detox and change the diet along with the time.
Right.
You know, yeah, it's like you resetting yourself, and now you cleaning out the spring errors that we made during the springtime. Then we inserting the new growth pattern. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, this is what people supposed to do. That's in alignment with themselves. But when you got the standard American, they should detox much more often than that because they poison themselves much more frequently. What I'm talking about is a person that's eating a 80% alkaline diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 100% alkaline diet.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the yin and in the universal law of yin and yang, you see a little bit of dark in the light and a little bit of light in the dark. It ain't 100% one way.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that symbol because it emphasizes that nothing is 100% one way.
Right.
Even with even I got a little bit of the feminine energy,
Mm-hmm.
which is the part that is not me acting like a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the part of me being a loving father and the humane side of me.
Right.
That is the humane side of me. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't me acting erratic and crazy. That's the part. That's the little dot right there. Me being humane, loving my family, and caring.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um.
See,
So
it,
that's
the where that someone brought that up the about they were saying God was a female, and I said no, God is both, male
right.
and female. Now, what you're seeing
Right.
when you see male and female, you see God, the duality of God on the
That's
physical
right.
plane, right? So we all have feminine, like I'm mostly masculine, but I do have feminine in me. But what makes it different for me with the feminine is I can shut off the emotions at will. Just turn it down when it's necessary for my survival.
That's right.
Whereas on the female side, it's very difficult for them to not be in their feelings.
They're supposed to be.
Right. See, because that they need that. Why? It's simple. When we go off the war and we coming back wounded, we need that female feeling power to heal us.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because as long as we're living in this dimension, in this 3D plane, we're gonna have wars. We're gonna have conflict. Because this is what this plane is for, to work through conflict and rise above it. But that male presence is there for, hey, when it gets physical, we get physical and exert our strength. But we get wounded, we need healing, we need emotional support, and that's what the female comes into play to add that healing power into it. And also the female intuition is powerful.
It is.
Because if you look at all these little old movies, they always have a female guiding the leader on what he should do next through her intuition.
That's right.
And that's what we lost. And now as black men, we don't have that female intuition to protect us.
So why we don't? You know why we don't?
Because they using it for other groups of people.
And they too busy trying to think like a man. That's a criminal thing. A woman should never think like a man.
No, and a man should never be thinking like a woman.
It takes away this factor that you're talking about. Really, that's the key to them, is to them, their intuition, but they don't have it no more because they train in male school.
And that's why they keep getting involved with them bums that don't mean it well. Yeah. My brother was saying here, my brother put on here, he realized how important sunlight was. He had got sick last year. So he spent the hours of 12 to 4 in the sun and he recovered. Yeah, that sun is important. A lot of our illnesses that we're getting because we endorse too much.
That's right.
Simply not going out there to get fresh air in the sun. You know.
And see, and then that's the cosmic side of this world being a feminine world. We're out of balance. We over feminize.
90 seconds.
Man, I'm so sick of people talking about this. This ain't no damn patriarchy.
Yeah, someone mentioned that to me last night, and I didn't have time to break down that it's really not a patriarchy. I see the men are just up there as props, but it's really a matriarchal situation. Yeah, because when you go, you go to school, you know, all the children are being taught mostly by females.
That's right.
60 seconds.
And then they're being taught things that are contrary to their real survival, you know. And this is why we have so much disunity between the sexes, because everybody's outside of their roles of what their creative roles. You know, they're trying to do the other job that they wasn't designed to do, you know. Is, you know, we're part of a system, you know, and if you don't do your part in that system, you're going to be out of line. Things don't run right, you know.
Because the average man, thank God I got harmony in my own house. But if I didn't have no harmony in my house, and I had a full wife, the first thing
10 seconds.
Call who she think is the alpha male, the police.
Yeah. Oh yes. Ain't that the truth?
You see what I'm saying? And so what they doing is that's when you realize this is not a patriarchy, because my law, what I say supposed to be the law. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I show up with it, this is it. That's what they're supposed to be.
But other communities, that's how they're running it like that. They front, some of them communities are front and play that role, But I'm gonna tell you what showed me how the other communities work. When all of those sex scandals came out, against them white boys, you didn't see them white women on TV dogging them white men.
You didn't.
You didn't see them. Now, when the brothers came, when Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and all of them came out, I'm not saying they right or wrong. That's not what the point of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the sisters were going in on them like it was no tomorrow. And them them white boys was doing it for years. And they were guilty. Proven guilty. But you never saw them get on TV and talk shit about them. They just say, oh, how it's unfortunate, and then they moved on another subject. But our sisters was having round tables. Oh, and then not just in there, not even just on the sexual level, just on anything a brother get caught up in.
That's right.
Yeah. So, hey, we at the end of the show. You want to let everybody go ahead, finish that thought.
Yeah, man. That's why, we do what we do, because I'm real big on the universal laws. Because see, these laws will never change. Truth, there's nothing higher than truth. The laws will never change. Right. And this is how this earth is controlled by these universal laws.
Right.
And it keeps the balance. And they're going to be true no matter what I personally think. That's what it's going to be. And you can't lie to yourself.
Mm-mm.
Now, I can do what I want to do, but I'm going to know in the back of my mind what the law is. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's why we try to promote health and balance. Because it's a way this thing is supposed to work. So, if you want to be in balance, call us at 803-661-8945, where you can be the best version of yourself. Because everybody needs to know what they came, their reason for being, and what they came here to do. Right. That's the most important thing you could do is know what's your reason for being. Why are you here? What are your gifts that you came on multiple lifetimes with? What did you need to learn in multiple incarnations that you didn't learn? Mm-hmm. Because you're going to bow to that. You're going to learn them through trial and error, or you could be intelligent and direct it yourself and be a real God, a real navigator, your own soul.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just be reckless and just figure it out as you go, coming into multiple incarnations, no better than you was when you died in the last incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Yeah, so peace and blessings.
All right, peace. That's it. I put your website up there, solomonshealingtemple.com. It's up there.
Yeah,
all right.
Thanks, God.
Thanks. Peace, everybody that joined in. Peace.